Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It was
Oh
nice.
man, that's you know what? When I'm sitting here, dude, I'm thinking I can't help but think about all the good times we had at Skateland. Being at Skateland was probably one of my best promotional deals because I didn't have to do a whole lot. All I did was promote. Okay, I didn't have to haul
Yeah.
no sound system in. I could plan an
Wait
event.
a minute. You used to come in and count the money.
I counted my. That was my favorite part.
That's something.
That was the favorite part. That was my favorite part. I'd hang
But I
out.
mean, I understand what you're saying because from a promoter standpoint, you're not there managing the security outside, worried about how somebody just got slapped and your security guard punched him in the nose and you got to go out there and neutralize all that. I mean, all you and all the other guys that work their promos there, all they had to do was get the artists in on time, make sure they knocked it out while they were on stage, and get them out safely. That was all you had to do. And that's the way promoting should be.
That's why I said that was one of my best situations. And do those right next door. I had to get them in there to deal with everything that you deal with, plus my regular function, and I had to bring the sound system in. I had to load the sound system in.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
that started acting a fool. I'm the only tech in the whole building. Dre didn't know nothing about that right there. If all is working fine, they good. As soon as something acts up, they calling me. I'm dealing with security. I got the same problems you had.
Yeah.
But you know, I had but a lot more. So yeah, man, that was a good time, dude. Skateland ran for what year? From 81 to 81?
November the 17th to, I think our last deal was like a New Year's Eve of 89.
Okay.
Or maybe it was Christmas of 88. Somewhere right in there. It was a 5-year kind of a deal.
Okay.
5-year kind of a deal. Somewhere around there.
Wrecking Crew, we had just started to leave Eve After Dark about 85. I was venturing out to do other things about 85 because we were just starting to take off with our records. Our first records came out in 84. About 85, we were kind of ready to move on to do other stuff. And I started doing doodles and Skateland because it was it wasn't the same commitment I had at Eve After Dark. And it worked. It worked for everybody.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Well, you were a tenant at Eve After Dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had every month you had this nut dropping in on you.
Mutt and doodles, it was a one-night shot, but it worked out just as good because it was different, but it was better, but it was also different.
Do you remember the first time we met?
At doodles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we were still in construction. I was working there late one night trying to get make sure we had some things done. Doodles was jumping. Cars were pulling in. I had to go out and close our gate so they wouldn't park on our lot.
Right.
And I went over there, and you and the crew were just getting ready to go on stage and do some stuff. And I stopped in, and at that point in time, nobody knew what Skateland was or who they was. Right. And I walked in and I told him I wanted to see a little bit of the show. And he said, hey, that's $15 or $12 or something. And I said, well, I'd like to talk to Lonzo. Well, Lonzo's busy. I said, well, maybe you could get a hold of him real quick because I just need to talk to him. And that was the first night we met. Now, I know you were busy that night because I think you had just done a set or you were going on to a set. And I remember Dre was in a doctor's outfit. He had his scrubs on.
Yeah.
And I met him there, and we talked. We just shook, and they went through, and that was the first time we met.
Working with you and Doodles gave me probably the most envious position as a promoter of all time. I had Doodles on Fridays and Skateland on Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay. I had him dancing on Friday and skating on Saturday. Okay, that went on for maybe about 6 months, and it was probably one of the most envious. And my arch nemesis, Mr. Roger Clayton, did not like that at all. That's where he came.
Yeah,
he came shortly after that, and he cut a deal with you for Skateland after we had moved on.
Do you know how he got that deal?
How?
I ever told you this? This should be I think this is in my movie, but. He came the first time I met Roger. All right. We're open and we're skating a matinee skate and the front door's open and some boisterous son of a bitch screaming, and hey, where's that owner Craig at? You know, and him and Gid come walking down that long corridor to where I was at by the snack bar, and he said, "Are you Craig?" I said, "Yeah. Who might you be?" "I'm Roger Clayton." I said, "Roger Clayton, Roger Clayton. Never heard of you, Roger. Thanks for stopping by." And I turned around and left. Oh, he went off. He went off.
Yes.
And I said, no, Roger, I'm just kidding you. I said, "Did you know I was white?" He said, "Yes, I was aware of that. I was told that in advance." I says, "Well, don't treat me stupid just because don't look like you, Roger." I said, "You know, I know what you want here. You want some of Lonzo's business." And at the time, and this is the God's truth, and I've never told you this, he said, "I have it from personal experience that Roger doesn't like, Lonzo doesn't like doing business with you. He says, you take too much of the money." I said, "Well, you know, Lonzo's a pretty outspoken guy, Roger. I'm pretty sure if I'm taking too much of the money, that motherfucker just might say something to me." Okay. And he's never said anything to me. He very graciously comes in and takes his money and leaves. Now, Greg Mack would come in, and he'd never, I always make this joke, he would never face me face to face to get his money. He would always kind of like turn away and take his money because he was getting more than anybody. This guy was getting way too much. To get that airtime, you know, I kind of prostituted ourselves, but it worked out okay. So I told Roger, I said, "You know, why is it you would say something like that about Lonzo?" He said, "Well, I believe it to be true." I said, "Well, he's never said anything to me about it." I said, "I'll give you a chance at a few things, but I heard you got such an outrageous reputation. If you skip a beat one time, Uncle Jams is gone." And he realized after the first one, your primary concern was that you would just come in, what was it? Get the act there on time, make sure they performed, and get them out safely. And then he realized, he told me, he says, "Jesus, this is the easiest deal we've ever done." He said, I know why Lonzo's not complaining." He said, and after one deal, we did one pretty big deal. He told me, he said, "I made money on that deal and I made with 10,000 people at the sports arena." He said, "I put in my pocket more than," it was a pretty big deal. I think it was Rakim. Who was Rakim's partner?
Eric B. and Rakim.
Eric B. That was our biggest night ever, was Eric B. and Rakim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had an occupancy of 1,775 based on the square footage of a skater. Okay. Right. The city would not change my occupancy for dance. They left it at 1,775. The night we did our grand opening, when you were there.
Right.
All right, let's pull that up again. We got to give Lonzo the credit here. The night we did our grand opening, our occupancy was 1,775. We put in 2,700 kids.
God damn, we were kicking ass.
Yeah.
2,700.
2,700. The night we did Rakim and Eric B., we did 3,800 kids.
Wow.
And I kept thinking to myself, man, I had it set up where as soon as somebody leaves, somebody could get in. So it wasn't there were 3,800 inside. There might have been
exchange.
There might have been 3,000, but we processed 3,800 admissions. If somebody would leave, somebody would come in. Because I knew, I don't know if the fire marshal ever came to do those.
Never gave me a problem.
It never gave me a problem, but it's always in the back of your mind.
Right.
You know, hey, if that guy happens to come through here, he's clearing the house.
Yeah, yeah.
He's clearing the house.
Dudos, its capacity was like 1,500 seating, 2,000 for dancing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing how small that. My occupancy should have been. I should have had an occupancy for dance of about 2,500.
Right. Easy. Easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Man, them were some good days, Doc. I'm glad we
But
hit it,
Roger,
dude.
wow.
Yeah. What else you got to show us, man? I saw some earlier pictures you had from Skateland.
Do what?
Yeah. What else you got to show us back there on your backdrop? You got some more pictures from Skateland back there? You got jackets.
On the computer or in my house?
On the computer. What you showed me earlier? Your Skateland
Oh,
jacket?
I've got. Well, I showed you John Singleton.
Okay.
Right. I showed you Terry.
Right.
That was the.
No. What Terry? Oh, Terry's poster? Yeah,
Terry's poster.
Right.
And the funny thing about this is that years later, I was asking Terry about this, and he disclosed to me. He says, "You know how I put that together?" I says, "No, I remember we actually had enough time to do a poster on this." And he says, one Friday night, I saw Eric, and we were chatting, and I said, "Hey, I got a good relationship with Skateland. Can I do you next Friday night?" He said, "Yeah, I'm not busy." He said, "Now we're going to spend some money on it. So if I ask you, can you do this Friday night? That doesn't mean can you. That means you have to be there Friday night." He said, "No, I'll make a commitment to you. I'll be there." So he said that he ended up paying Eric $600 to show up. $600 to show up for this.
Yep.
And now, I thought, wow, if that's scale, that's cheap.
That was very cheap. Now, CIA, that was when Eaton and Q decided to go from being a stereo crew to CIA. That was when they first made the transition.
Right.
And Rappenstein was one of Slip's Big Terry's friends.
Yeah, one of the crew. That was one of the. I remember it was Rockin' Tom. Rappenstein.
Chuck Small.
Chucky Small.
Right.
There was quite a few. Yeah.
Compilation.
All good. There's all good people.
All of them great guys. You'd be surprised, man. All those 8-ball drinking guys now, you can't give them a drink.
No.
Can't give him a drink right now.
Terry's in Texas growing vegetables now.
I talked to him last Thursday. He's doing great.
Yeah, he's doing
a robotic engineer. Now he's an underwater robotic engineer.
Yep, goes out on the oil rigs.
Yeah, on the oil rigs. All
he's
right.
Making good money.
What else? What that jacket you had, man? Show me that satin jacket. Because people talk about jackets.
Well, the interesting thing about this satin jacket is, let's see if I can pull it up.
There it is.
See, I had to block out the Jerry curl stain on the one corner.
There you go.
That you put on there one night when somebody was tussling and bumped into us, and next thing I know, you hit me, and it's the activator was all over my coat. So it's still there. I still have memories of you whenever I put it on.
All right, I ain't mad at you.
That's all right.
You know what? Let me say this right quick. People talk about the satin jackets. Most people don't understand a satin jacket was a part of the branding for any entertainment establishment at that time, whether it's a record company, a production company, skating ring. If you were established, you had to have a satin jacket.
If you didn't have a satin jacket, you really weren't to that stature.
You had nothing.
Of what you needed to achieve for the amount of years that you're in that business. Right. If you didn't have a satin jacket,
you had to have a satin jacket to rep your set, whether it was Skateland, Eve After Dark, World Class Wrecking Crew. You weren't legit. You know,
you haven't arrived.
How much did those jackets cost you back in the day, man?
With all the embroidery we had on that thing, I think it cost us $90.
See, you know
$90.
What? They're going to show you the times, dude. They're going to show you the time. That jacket was $90. Jacket, embroidered, everything. Right now, it would cost you $90 to get that skate embroidered. Okay.
We got a deal, and I financed every jacket for every employee that worked for me. Okay. I told him, I said, "Hey, I'm going to get you a satin jacket. I can't afford $90. I said, I'm going to take out $2 a paycheck. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
And if you get to where you can't pay anymore, I'll just give a damn thing to you." And most of the employees didn't want red or blue. They wanted white. They wanted white because they were from the hood. They were affected. It was ingrained in them. Let's wear white.
Right.
And that was one of the comments I had to I don't know if it was Dre or Cube. You got to start wearing black. You got to start wearing black. If you don't want to wear white, you got to start wearing black. Lakers, no.
Kings,
The
Raiders.
Kings or the Raiders.
Yeah. Yeah.
That you walk into a venue, doesn't make a fuck where you're at. Black or white is going to take care of the situation by itself. So, and we did white. Most of the employees did white, and my dad and I did blue.
Okay.
And there were a few red ones. And the night we were closed on the first Tuesday of every month that we were closed, we would rally up to World on Wheels and skate with our jackets on and just tear the shit up.
Man.
Okay.
Man.
So we were the first time we were there. I think there was like
people don't understand the significance of a jacket in that era.
It's powerful.
We would go out, and if we didn't have an event going on, we'd go to one of Roger's events, and I would go there with my jackets, and it was like, oh my God, the Wrecking Crew is here.
They'd see him right away, and everybody in the crowd would say, oh my God, the Wrecking Crew is here.
Right. He got mad at me because we would do that, okay? And he would try to make us take our jackets off, okay? I'm not taking my jacket off. So what we did on our second set of jackets, they were reversible. Okay.
No.
We made some reversible jackets. So we would have them. It would be blue on one side or black on one side. We flip them over in the gray, and we'd have all our insignias on the back of them. Oh man, we just flip them over. Oh, they hated that. Oh, the record did it again. Oh man, it was that was part of the a power move that you would pull. At a venue, you crawl out there with your jacket, and that was part of your crew. I mean, like being a motorcycle gang almost. That was your brothers.
It was powerful when you had more than a couple of them together.
Yeah.
When we would skate,
we had girls, we had about 15, 20 people that wore Wrecking Crew jackets. So everybody in my crew had a jacket. The janitor, the DJs.
Yeah, my janitor had one.
Huh?
I bought my janitor one. Yeah.
See. Hey, man,
we were up at World on Wheels that night, and after we were finished skating and we were taking our shoes off, putting them in our skate bags, they'd come up and say, "Hey, are you guys from that crip rink down there in Compton? Are you from that crip rink?" Wow. I said, "No, we're from Compton." Like, hey, I don't know, we're from Compton. Wow. Like it meant something because the kids that all worked for me, they were all living in Compton. And we didn't like them referring to us as the crip rink. No, we're from Compton.